we need to have a blame storm. Who do you blame for the mess that we are currently in? The markets are in turmoil. Interest rates are on the rise. It's difficult to get a mortgage. The housing market may or may not suffer. We see this continued problematic trouble. I mean, the government, look at their ratings. It couldn't be worse for Liz Truss. And I thought it was my next guest who was supposed to be having a froth. Here I am bubbling over with froth. Should we get your personal finance news? Let's do it with Dr. Roger Givolb. He's CEO of Fair Money, personal finance and credit expert. Dr. Roger, I've taken your mantle. I'm frothing everywhere.
You're doing really well, too.
Thanks. That's almost patronising, but I quite enjoyed it. So
It's sincere. It's sincere.
Yeah, so was that. Anyway, let's turn our attention to personal finances. I think we are all going to have to follow this. So during the pandemic, we all had to subscribe to the work from home. We've already started discussing on this show that there is an alternative. And I think you're quite excited about working, or WFP, working from the pub. Why are you so excited about this, Roger?
Well, I'm excited and also a bit concerned. I mean, we're more than 2 years into a WFH, and I certainly get reports that it's starting to wear on people and not be as effective. I mean, couples, families that have been apart during the day for years, if not decades, now are all of a sudden together all day, and it's starting to strain. So anywhere, going to the library, Starbucks, whatever, is probably not a bad idea to have at least some hours separation during the day. It's going to work for some people and not others, because after all, it is a pub.
But you see, years ago, Roger, I used to do an awful lot of my work in the pub because I used to work for a property advisory company, and you used to do quite a lot of work by socialising, because that's how the market worked, that's how you found out about deals, that's how you built relationships with people to make sure that they knew what you were looking for on behalf of your clients, and it was perfectly acceptable. So the pub is a very good place to go and do some work, and it still is, and I'm amazed that people have ignored it as an option.
Well, it's a different kind of work, James. I mean, I go back to the days when everybody left their office in the city and was in a pub in the city by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and that's where the deals got done and the work got. It's quite different than somebody sitting, poring over their laptop, not really speaking to anybody else. It's a different environment.
I think we're just jealous of the fact that, people have so much freedom and flexibility these days to be able to work from wherever they like, on the basis that so much can be done from a laptop, even a phone or anything else. We need to move on just from a perspective of time. Are you worried, Roger?
I am. I mean, one very well-known television political personality said yesterday that some Tory MPs and ministers actually said to him that Liz and Kwasi's governance was so absolutely horrendous that they would vote against her in a vote of confidence, even if it meant a general election coming up and them losing their seats, which is a really big thing for a politician to say.
Wow. Maybe they'd, I don't know, maybe they'd end up in the House of Lords or something, and then they would never have to be elected again on the basis. True. I mean, look, that's a wonderful gravy train, isn't it? You can fail in your career, you can get voted out of office, you can get removed and turfed out, and then somebody liked you and goes, oh, We'll stick you in the House of Lords, which is a little bit like a sort of Harry Potter-esque style of school lunches and big long dining rooms and a lot of very dark wood. And we'll put you in there and we'll give you our money for rewarding you for failure.
And I think the hope of that is what drives many of these folks forward and allows them to proceed with a certain degree of ineptitude that just wouldn't be accepted in a more commercial world.
Okay, so we're worried quite a lot about all sorts of aspects. Meanwhile, talking of Harry Potter, you want to get your broom out.
Well,
presumably not for a game of Quidditch.
No, I mean the situation is really dire. Look, personal finance depends to a great degree on the leadership of the government, and we've got a government at the moment that is in life support, frankly. And on October the 31st, which is the day to which now quasi or kamikaze, as they seem to be calling him, is going to deliver his explanation of the figures that he should have presented, when he presented his fiscal event. Not a budget, because there's no accountability. It's not a budget, it's a fiscal event. On the 31st October...
Certainly was a fiscal event.
Yeah. On the 31st October, he's going to tell us all about this. Now, the OBR, the Office of Budget Responsibility, it's very simple. They are either going to agree with those numbers or they're not. If they don't agree with those numbers, James, all bets are off. If they do agree with those numbers, he's going to have to explain why he didn't present them on the day.
So either way,
he loses.
Heads you lose, tails you lose. So this is a disaster, Roger.
Disaster. It's a disaster.
It's a disaster. The plane is crashing. Is there anything we can do?
I'm wearing this button lest anybody think that I'm getting too enthusiastic and excited about this, because we'll come out of this, Britain more than any other country.
We will come out of this. All I can say, Roger, is that we are out of time. We will come out of it, but what a mess. We are going to continue with our blame storming. 03